sometimes it's very difficult to go on a channel and be like, this is going to be the best movie of the year. Now, it would be a stretch to say a movie is the best movie of the year, but it isn't a stretch when you say that this is definitely going to be a movie that is going to be talked about as amongst the top 10 most popular movies of 2026. And that is none other than Obsession. Now, when I first heard about Obsession, I first saw the trailer when it came out. And when I saw it, I was like blown away at what I was watching. You know, genuinely speaking, when I look at that trailer, when I first looked at that trailer, I was like, this is going to be an incredible movie. Because immediately I saw incredible cinematography. I already saw a story that really intrigued me. And ultimately, it was setting itself up for success immediately with that first trailer. So I already understood what we were getting into from that first trailer. And, you know, after watching this film, I have to say that it follows through with everything that that trailer promised. You know, it gives you the mystery, it gives you the intrigue, it gives you an incredible cast of characters, and ultimately it gives you a story that actually keeps you on your toes, invested in these characters. And like I said before, the cinematography really stands out. I mean, this is a movie that's not shot the traditional sort of, 16:9 basic aspect ratio. This is one of those, 4:3 aspect ratios that actually, kind of put you in that sort of square space. It really puts you in that, sort of like, Instagram post-esque, view of the story. And I feel like people are going to be intrigued by how this movie is shot, because ultimately the storytelling is in how it is shot in this movie, apart from what the lines are and what the story is trying to tell you. I think that for what it's worth, every aspect of this movie you can tell that the budget went into. It's not like they skipped out on a couple of things here and there. And luckily for them, this is not a movie that needs CG or heavy artillery levels of, special effects. It's very simple, strategically speaking, in terms of its execution, but ultimately it's a beautifully shot film. And that kind of almost bleeds into the casting of this film. Obviously you have your title role with Inde Navarrette, who is absolutely amazing in this role. I mean, she is a revelation, ultimately. I mean, even though this isn't her first project, it's the first project that actually, rose her from like the unknown levels to actually, being someone who people are recognizing and seeing for the first time. So I think she did an incredible job in this film. It's very difficult to like fully embody yourself in the mind of someone who is kind of in a split personality. So Nikki is in two different spaces, and you can see that throughout the film. Like sometimes it's all her, it's all the regular her, and then there are moments where it's, the regular Nikki speaking out when the other crazy Nikki is kind of, dormant. Incredible work by her. And, also in this sense, it's kind of like the direction that Curry Barker is actually pushing towards. So I think that was absolutely amazing on her end. Now, obviously, we also have some other smaller roles that I think are very important as well. Megan Lawless, you see her pop up in this movie, and she plays a really nice role as well in this movie. And Cooper Tomlinson as well. He's also very great as like the best friend to Bear, and also I feel like that connection between those two characters is actually great as well, and believable. Typically when you see these movies, you would feel like it's almost surface level, but it's not. It feels true to those two characters, to Bear and to Ian. So I mean, it's a really nice little rapport that they have, which is really cool. But and extending now, obviously, to Michael Johnston, who is incredible in this film as well. He has to be literally on a completely different range of emotions, and he actually plays every range possible here. Like 90% of the time, it's nervous and not knowing how to deal with the situation. But ultimately, it's kind of like he's the one who actually got himself in that situation. So he kind of dug his own hole, so to speak, in this situation. So I think he did absolutely fantastic in this role and in this movie. Honestly, another revelation along with Inde. Now, someone who I was not expecting to pop up in this movie that does pop up here is Andy Richter, who obviously we all know from Conan and live TV and talk shows and sort of thing. So I mean, like, I know he's an actor, I know he's like a comedian and everything, but like I did not expect him to pop up here. But even though he has a very tiny role in this movie, he did great. Now, sure, everything is impressive in this movie. The story is very well told and very well written. Yes, you have incredible cinematography. You have an incredible cast of characters that you can actually connect with. But honestly, the most shocking and incredible thing about this movie that blows me away and gives me personally hope to make films is the fact that the budget of this movie was $750,000. Yes, $750,000. I'm gonna give you a little idea here, like a very basic idea. An episode of a TV show today, which will run roughly around an hour. We're not even talking about an hour and a half like this movie. We're talking about a flat hour. We're talking about roughly $20 million. And I'm talking about on the low end of certain shows. On the higher end, it could go even higher than that. But this movie was made for less than what an episode of television is made for today. So that is insane. And put on top of that this is considered now the most profitable film ever made, or close to the most profitable film ever made. It's mind-boggling. I mean, this movie has made over $400 million at the box office on a $750,000 budget. That is mind-blowing. I mean, it gives me hope that studios ultimately will see indie filmmakers and be like, okay, we can give you $1 million to do your indie film, and they can push out something incredible for that budget. So honestly, I'm just hoping that this is a sign that Hollywood is going to start investing in smaller films that ultimately can make them more money in the long run. So, fingers crossed. Now, I have heard through, channels on the internet that Curry Barker is working on a sequel to this film. Now, I don't know what he is planning, but I also heard, other than a sequel, he's also working on possibly a TV show, an anthology show that follows the One Wish Willow that is involved in this story. And if that's true, that would be very interesting. It would almost follow a sort of Twilight Zone-esque storyline. And if that's the case, dude, I am all in here. I mean, think about it like this. If he was able to do this for $750,000, imagine a TV show that each episode has maybe on a low end budget, maybe $5 or $10 million. Imagine what he could do with a season, 10 episodes of telling stories with people with the One Wish Willow. I'm down, man. I am down for whatever he has in store for the future, and ultimately whatever comes his way, whether it be an Oscar nomination and possibly an Oscar win, or even Golden Globes. I mean, the world right now is his oyster, and he is chucking it every chance he has. So hopefully we do get to see this nominated for an Oscar, because that would make a lot of sense for what this movie is and how it was made. But then again, these are my thoughts, my opinions, how I think about movies, and the exciting thing about movies that are made for low-end budgets and ultimately tell a great story and look as amazing as they do in this specific case with Obsession. And I want to hear from you. What do you guys think? What do you think of Obsession? And are you excited to see a potential sequel or even a TV show based off of this? Honestly, I would be very excited, and it would definitely be something that, I don't know, maybe in the future could be something that I would possibly want to be a part of. So who knows? I don't know. I want to throw it to you and what you think, and I want to hear it down below in the comments. And while you're down there, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell to be notified when new videos go live on this channel. And thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video.
Scrolling through YouTube, same old routine, then bam, movie savant, what a scene. Trivia bombshells dropping knowledge like rain. Forget the dishes, gotta watch it again. Movie buffs unite, savants to place. Subscribe and hit the bell, don't leave a trace. Next level knowledge keeps you in the loop. Savants got the scoop, ain't nothing to recoup.